Hey y'all, it's your girl Shay. We back for another one with HPPTreasure Talk. I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this interview. We have Yung Honore here in the building. How are you doing today, sir? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here today, Shay.
Well, now I wanted to first kind of address you're out of Houston, Texas, and I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. I usually kind of first start out with asking all my guests, like if someone didn't know who you were and didn't know anything that you've done, what would you say to them as far as who Yung Honore is?
Um, that's a good question. One of my worst thing is I hate talking about myself. I love when people talk about me from their perspective versus me like telling. Uh, I'm young Honore. I was born in Africa. Majority of my life, I was raised in America. Um, I am an entrepreneur. Um, my entrepreneurship was birthed through my music. Um, and so, and then I'm a recording artist, touring recording artist. Yeah, that's what I would say. And then we'll get the rest as we go.
Okay, well, good. No, that's a great start. So tell me about like your childhood before music. Tell me a little bit about before you decided to go into your Christian ministry within the music industry.
I was just an average child in a household of about 8 children with my mom and dad, a
Okay.
PK. My dad is a pastor, missionary, had churches and stuff like this. So before I got deep into my music and everything, I was always with my dad in ministry. Um, I know you read about me speaking like the 9 different languages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that also was a part of that whole pre-music thing because like I said, my dad was a missionary. So when we moved around planting churches and all of these things, and so into every country or city, province, or whatever we moved around, unlike here in Africa, every like new city have like a different language or whatever they speak on in their area. Like you in Texas, they got their own Texas thing. You in Houston,
Right.
and then you like Dallas, they speak a total different language from people in Houston. And so everywhere we moved to, I had to learn what those people speak because it's easier for me as a kid to learn than it is for my dad as a full grown adult to learn. And
Right.
so I would learn majority of the languages there. So when my dad preached, I was always the one translating for him, including even when we got to the States. And we launched the church and everything. Every Sunday, I had to translate for him to preach. So I had to speak English, and he preached in Swahili and things like this. So that's what I did majority of the time, far as like prior to me diving off into my music.
So so you do you still actively are you still able to speak 9 different languages right now?
I can understand all of them, but I probably not as fluent as I used to be because
Right.
some of them I haven't even used them in probably like the last 18 years or so because it's just like there's no people to use it,
Right.
to use it on this end. But I would say fluently I'm about five
About
now.
five?
About five. The other four, they're probably like washed,
Right.
like super washed. Like I'll have to spend about a month with them again to get back fluent like I used to be.
So are they all African languages or what are the different languages? Would I know them or would I not know them? I mean, I'm not that
You probably, of course, English.
right. Okay, but that's
um,
one.
Swahili is probably one of the popular African dialects that a lot of people are kind of getting hip to and
Okay.
finding out about Swahili. So mainly we use Swahili at home a
Okay.
lot. French, my French is very washed, but it's still there. Um,
Okay.
Play around a lot with my mom when we talk to make sure she sharpened me and stuff like that. Um, and I started learning a little bit of Spanish too, but I'm not
Did
too good.
you?
Yeah, I'm not too good there, but I can understand because it's so close to like French, like Spanish, French, and like Portuguese. They're like
Is
so
it?
close. Yeah, they're like
I
very,
took
very close.
Spanish in like high school. I didn't do well. I'm
Come
not.
on,
I didn't do well at all. I know hola, and that's it. That's
and
all I
that's
got.
it.
That's all I got.
Listen, that's enough. The rest can be in the sign language.
Right. Right. Okay. So wait,
Yes,
wait,
I
and there's
think
one more.
like
So you
French.
after Spanish, what was the
Hmm.
last one?
Speaking Nyanja, Bemba. Those are
Okay.
like from Zambia. And then like Shona is like Zimbabwean because
Okay.
I lived in Zimbabwe for about 3 years there as well. So it's majority of them is more of like to the province in Africa that we was
Right.
in outside of the ones that are nationally spoken.
And so then, so and that's super amazing. That's what really stuck out of everything that you've done. I think that was the first thing I was like, oh my gosh, because you got to be super, super smart to be able to. English is hard for me on some days,
Come on.
any phonics, right? But so you know what I mean. So to know that much, you have to be so well rounded. So that really, I was really, really fascinated by that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about. So, what
But
age did you?
before you even go to the next question, I'm gonna tell you this.
Okay.
It's like an average thing for any Africans to at least speak about 4 to 5 languages. It's like an
Is
average thing.
it?
Yeah, like majority because like your mom is from, let's just say my mom is from Dallas and my dad is from Houston. My mom means they speak whatever they speak in Dallas, and my dad in Houston they
Right.
speak. So like automatically, that's two I have to learn.
Right.
And then there is these national languages that connects. Like French is one of them that connects. Like okay, you're from Dallas and I'm from here, but we both speak French. So
Wow.
there's like that. So there's either that or English. Things like this. So like that's automatically three.
Right.
You're already a trilingual. Is
Right.
that such thing as
Right.
trilingual? You automatically so there's those things. So it's an average thing. But whenever you get to the sixth and the seventh, then you're special now.
Right. There you go. There you go. That part. I know that's right. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
special. Okay. No, but that's amazing. But that does make sense. It's almost like you're kind of forced to be able to communicate effectively, right? With
correct.
everybody, you kind of are forced to be able to. You have to learn all the different languages. So that's amazing.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So then, and sorry if you said this already. I'm trying to piece it all together and think of questions. What age did you move to the States?
I was 13.
Okay. Okay.
I was 13.
And then that was that obviously you're still a kid, you're still with your parents. So, right? Is that right? So that
That's
was your choice or their parents' choice?
It was most of my parents,
Okay.
and also us moving to the states was a lot more dealing with my mom's health, trying to make sure that we found a good doctor and everything situation for her, and turned out to be a good situation for us.
Good, good. Okay, and so then I also was reading, I tried to do my little homework on you.
Come on.
That you have performed in like 5 different countries. So were you performing while you were still in Africa, or did your performance in the music industry and that career start when you came over to the States? Tell me more.
Part of that is including when I was still there.
Okay.
Yeah, and part of
Okay.
it is from being here.
Okay. And then when did you feel called to do Christian music or your genre? What genre is it? Is it because I've heard of some of your music and it seems kind of contemporary, some hip hop. Tell me more about that.
It's more of like a pop rap type of feel. It is hip hop, of course, but it's more on the pop sound, Afro pop.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think I was like about 15 when I first kind of jumped into the music scene. I was just I think my last years in middle schools and stuff like that, playing around with it with my friends, and I was like, oh man, I can do this.
Yeah,
So I started,
I'm kind of
I started,
good.
outside playing around with my friends, freestyling and stuff like that. I was like, man, I can do this. So I started playing around with it. But growing up in a Christian home, hardcore PK life, um, I couldn't do the type of music that I was getting introduced to at school. And so I'm trying to cuss a little bit here. I'm trying to, trying to do my thing, but I couldn't do it. So eventually, on our neighborhood, at this point we was living in Louisiana in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
There was these guys. It was their names were Prism and Docno. And they came on our street. They did an outreach at the end of the street in our neighborhood, and their music was Christian. And I was like, yo, they rap, like this is my first time ever hearing such thing as Christian rap. I was like, they rap,
Right.
but they don't cuss. It's like it's Christian, you know. Growing up in Africa, we never they my parents and everybody back then they associated rap with violence and gang, and
Hmm.
but they just never let us listen to it. We listened to the contemporary gospel music from where we're from, and so when I heard that they could rap and they could be gospel, I was like, man, I can do this. So I started following them,
Right.
checking them out, and eventually end up working with them. They actually offered me my first real studio situation. My whole first album I recorded with them. They had a full blown studio stage. Look, I'm like, "Man, y'all gonna let me perform?" You know, they're like on the spot, and then you know things like that. But yeah, that's when I first started pursuing it. Then and got into it and started moving around.
And so, what age was that you did your first album then?
My first album came out when I was 17, I think. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. And you,
yeah.
so you immediately, so you're, so okay, let me kind of back up. So you're a PK, you're a PK PK kid, you're a PK. um, was that, because, so, okay. So now I didn't heard that sometimes the PK kids are a little bit rougher than they're a little bit worse than we think they are, just because of living that lifestyle, right? Living the lifestyle that you have to do everything right, Christian, everything gotta be right. And so sometimes, kids end up turning the other direction. Was that you? Was you a bad kid?
um, I'm gonna
You
say there's a little
hesitating
bit of
now. You
there's a,
hesitating.
there's a little bit of truth to that. You know, there's a little bit of truth to that, but I won't put that on myself. You know, I won't put that on myself. I'll say, you know,
Right.
yeah, I'm not. I won't put that on myself. I won't put that on
He's
myself.
like, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I won't. But I must. This is what I must say though. Like with me getting into the music a lot most earlier in my younger years, I think it prevented me from a lot of what could have been. So
Right, right.
once you
Okay.
get into that, and there's this thing about upkeeping your brand and your image and all of this thing, all of that, I feel like it played a role in making sure that I didn't. If I ever made a left turn, it wasn't too far.
Right. Okay. There we go. I appreciate you. I appreciate you trying to keep it in a good light, trying to keep your name in a good light. I understand. No, but I appreciate your honesty and your transparency with that. Because yeah, you don't want to, like everybody. I think everybody makes mistakes at some point in their life, no matter how big or little they are, right? So yeah, I definitely honor that. But so when you decided to do the Christian music, was your parents a fan of that at first when they found out, like, oh, you can do Christian rap, like you kind of did, like, oh, this is a thing? Were they supportive of it?
um. So starting off, it wasn't. There wasn't.
Okay.
Because the language barrier. So I was
Okay.
making music in English. They don't speak English. Wasn't understanding it, and they just assume it sounds like rap. You join the
It's
gang.
right.
You out of here. You
Right.
that PK that you're talking about. It was more.
Right. Right.
Would be more of like that. But eventually I had to make like a song. I don't even know where this file is. I wish I could find this file. I had to make like a song in Swahili. And they're like, "Oh, you are talking about God. Okay, let's record
uh
it." Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So ever since then they became a fan, and
okay.
they supported. They came to every concert that they could.
uh
At the time, like I said, I was 15 when I first started, so I didn't have no money for to produce no merch, to print, get my CDs printed or anything like that. And my dad started funding all of that.
oh,
And so my dad was, hey, I get paid next Friday, and I'm gonna give you X, Y, Z so you can print this. I'm gonna give you X, Y, Z so you can. So he started helping out with that. So that was, yeah, they were very supportive of.
good, good. Okay, so then moving forward, tell me a little bit more. So I know I read about the God life, and I think I read the God life experience. Tell me where that kind of derived from and what that means.
That is actually the motto. That's the, like, well, I have it tatted on me.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
It's up here.
He
Yeah,
said the God life forever.
forever. We are never separating ever.
Right, right.
But that is one of the albums that we put out. It's called The God Life. It's one of our mottos. That's the statement that we live by. Everybody want to wait till they get to heaven to experience the goodness of God
Yeah.
and the richness and the freedom and the healing. Like, but nah, the God life is all about bringing heaven on earth. We want to
Come
experience
on
that
now.
here. We want heaven here. Like, we
Yes.
get over there and there's something extra, then that's just what it was. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about bringing heaven on earth and experiencing everything that God has promised us while we are still on earth.
You know what? And that's so I'm happy that you said that because I was talking to my kids about that because I'm like, like everybody waits until they get older, and I think a big piece of it is like, we're young and so you try everything, you try this, you try that, you try to live life and be all fun. But it's unfortunate that a lot of people really wait to find God and to really accept Jesus Christ into their life when they like 92. Like
Yeah,
you only
yeah,
got you only got like 8 more years left. No, no, you know what I mean? And so I'm older, and I'm not even embarrassed. I'm 41, and I've wholeheartedly now, committed my life to Jesus Christ 100%. And I say that because I've said
yeah.
that many times in my life, and I did it about 35%, or the last time I did it, it was like 45. You know what I mean? Like, and so now I am wholeheartedly 100%. But I still, I mean, I'm not old, but I still feel like at 41, half my life's gone. I don't know if I should say that, but you know what I'm saying though? Like, I feel like I wasted a lot of years because now I am truly, and I'm not rich by no means. Don't have a whole lot of stuff, but I promise you, I'm truly happy. Like in my heart, I'm happy and I'm at
Hmm.
peace. And I
Hmm.
wasted a lot of time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, I could have been peaceful and I wasn't happy if I would have found him earlier. So it's just interesting that you say that people do wait until they either get to heaven or almost at heaven's door, to have the God life. So I think that's an amazing message.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now we don't want to wait that long.
No,
And then it's just a revelation that you get. Like once you get that revelation, it's like you'll find out that certain religion rules bind you from living that life that you could live, and still be in good standing in your righteousness with God, but still have to enjoy life while you were still here and still do life right by God, living in a right stand with God, but also not missing out
yes,
on nothing. And so even like one of the songs on that is called Missing Nothing. Like I'm not missing out on nothing. Like this whole feeling of missing out, like I'm not missing out on nothing. I'm having all the fun I can. I'm making
yep,
all the money that I can.
yep.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's 100%. Because like I kind of was thinking that too. Like, I mean, not really, because because I've done it all. I hate to say, but I've done it all, and it's overrated. Like it's overrated. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it's fun. It's instant gratification in the moment, but then afterward, you wake up the next morning or whatever or whatever, and it's a whole different feeling. We'll say that.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that too. Like once I gave my life, like low key it's gonna be boring. And I know that in the Bible, a rich man's not gonna make it into heaven, right? You right, I don't know the exact verse, but so I'm thinking like, dang, I ain't gonna be able to make a lot of money. But really at the end of the day, I was actually telling my little brother this yesterday, like God didn't put us on earth to be sad and to be poor, and he put us on earth to be peaceful and happy and to live in abundance, right? And so at the end of the day, yeah, you may not be rich, or you could be, but if you're living right by God, He's gonna give you peace, happiness, all the love you need, and He's gonna take care of your basic needs, and you're gonna live abundantly, whatever that looks like. And
And
so
being
I'm
being rich is a part of living the God life. That's one of the promises God gave us. A lot of
so
people try to disassociate Christianity with money and being prosperous. Like that's one
right.
of the promises God gave. I can't really quote the scripture right, but if you go and
Mhm.
look it up, you'll find where He says He took our sins, so He could be the sinner and die for it, and but He gave us. Richness, like to be rich. Like it's in the
Right.
Bible. But so
Yeah.
why would God give us say you will be rich and I'll take your sin, but not want us to be rich? So like it don't even make sense.
Exactly.
So like
Exactly.
we can now when the Bible talks about it's hard for a rich man to make it into heaven, it's something dealing with uh, that person, not because they're rich. It's you can be poor and still go to hell. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay. Right. That part.
Because then you can be rich and still make it in. It's all about the heart. Are you in the right standing with God? Are you did the money, did the richness take
Like
you away from
greed,
your connection with
evil.
God? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you got to make sure that you are in the right standing with God, even with your richness. You got to make sure I always tell people, when you're enjoying the gift, don't forget the giver of the gift.
Come on now.
That's what
Yes,
I was
that's
saying, and
good.
so that's where we get it wrong. People get, you get God bless you and all of this and open the doors, and then you forget who opened the door, and now you're the man, and that's
Right.
when
Right.
it's hard for you to get into heaven. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes,
But
definitely. Well, and that's just it too. It takes you to read the Bible to know that. Because like I didn't know that. Like my whole before the this season of my life, I didn't know that. Like I really thought like, okay, rich people are evil and they're not gonna go to hell. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
but I was trying to be rich. I didn't really care at the time.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah. No,
it
God
took
wants
me
us
to
to
read the
prosper.
Bible.
God wants us to
Yeah,
prosper. Like
exactly. Yes. And so that's why now, like, and I really, haven't. I'm working on it now, but I haven't read the Bible from front to back yet. And right now, I have a study application Bible, and so I'm able to read it. It's the NLV version or NLT version, to
mhm.
where it's easier to read. But then
Yeah,
my Bible also comes with like whole bunch of extra paragraphs to explain
no,
what you read. And
uh-huh.
but for me, it makes it so much interesting now. I'm like, low key, the Bible is like a reality show. It be
Uh-huh.
going down
Uh-huh.
in
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah,
Bible. I
yeah.
said, why does God be murking everybody? Like, I thought he was supposed to be nice. Like so so it really opened my eyes now that I'm really reading it word for word, like really what he means. But at the same time, he's a vengeful God, but at the same time, he's so loving. And so, you know what I mean? I don't want to get to preaching to you right now, but you
Come
know
on
what I
with it. I'm
mean?
for listen. I'm all for it. Come on with it.
Yeah. But he is. And so I just think it takes us for that understanding and for us to really seek him out, right? Like to really actually look for it, and you'll find it, and all the secrets and all that, everything that you thought wasn't there is right there in your face. And so it's actually very, very beautiful, obviously.
Yeah, it's all in there. And then the crazy part is also like in the different revelations that we get by reading the same scripture. You can read it today, and God speaks something totally different to you based on
Yep.
what you read, and then you read the same scripture tomorrow, and He give you a whole total message.
Yes.
Same thing. That is crazy. But yeah. So I pray that as you are reading, that God is revealing to you what He wants you to know in this season, according to what you are reading. Most of my Bible story days, I did that when I was a kid, when I was in Africa, actually, because the schools there, majority of all the public schools have Bible as a class that you have to take, is one of the courses.
Oh,
And so yeah,
wow.
so majority of that, we learned all of that, like all they basically go through all the stories, all the Moses,
Right.
Israel, the Esther story. Like by the time you graduate high school, you done went through the whole Bible.
Right. You a theologian. By the time you graduate, you just
Like
know.
you were almost nearly forced to be. Right.
Right, right. Okay, so yes, no, that's what's up. Okay. So now back to your music. We about to sit up here and go to Bible study right now.
Come on. Hey, I like it. I like it. Look.
Right,
Yeah, that we're gonna save it for another day.
right, right. But okay, so back to your music. So I was reading, or I actually watched a video where I think you had came back, where you took a break on music for a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about that if you're okay with opening up about that, and then what was your decision for returning back to music?
I took a quick break. Actually, it wasn't like a planned break. It's just happened to become a break. Um,
Okay.
Released, just stepped into a different season of life. We had released some fresh new music. Was doing well. Went on a mini tour. Came back, um, and then, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, so I started diving a little bit more deep into my entrepreneurship, and things started taking off in a different direction. And so I'm like, the more attention I kind of like gave it, the more it took away from me from going on the road. So I took a little break to focus on that, and then before you know it, the pandemic happened, and then I got married, got a family, still running business, and before you know, like, oh, 4 or 5 years that went by.
Right.
Like 5 years that went by. So that just kind of like happened back to back. It was mainly unplanned, but now I've gotten a family to the place where we are like uh, a little more settled. My wife, my daughter loves my music. She know like songs like you wouldn't even think like when you listen to that, like but so it was just like a right time for me to come back to it, um, and I'm getting older. If I don't do it now, I'll probably never get
Yeah.
back to, especially now genre with rap. The older you get, the more, what is he
This
doing
music's
right?
different. It's different now, ain't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely, I ain't hating on it or nothing. I don't even like. That's how far my walk is. Really, that I don't even listen to secular music. When I stopped listening to secular music when I was still sinning. I,
Come
I
on.
was yeah, like seriously. I think I've been listening to only church Christian rap and gospel for probably 12 years. And
Yeah,
my new walk has only been like a year. So
come
I'm
on,
still out there sinning and still listening to Lecrae. Okay,
come on.
but.
Hey, that's one of my favorite ones.
Yes, yes. But yeah, the music is definitely different now. I'll just say that. I ain't gonna hate on nobody, I ain't judging nobody. But I'm just saying the younger people, all right, I love you. But the
Hmm.
music's definitely different, it's definitely changed. And so I
Yeah,
understand that yeah, we're getting older. And so not that we can't be down with, the same music, but I definitely understand that yeah, we're on different levels, I would say.
yeah, yeah. Most
Yeah.
definitely, most definitely.
Okay, so as you return back, how are you returning back with a new album, or what are you kind of doing now with music?
We're gonna take it one step at a time. So right now we're just currently working on like some new music. We're gonna be releasing a new single pretty soon, and see how that do, and then hopefully a EP before the year ends, and then we'll be talking about album talks then.
Okay,
But we just want to give people some fresh new music first, and then we'll see what happens after that. But
sounds
definitely,
good.
it's not out the picture. Definitely, we are working. Yeah.
Okay, he's like, no, we're definitely working. We're definitely getting a check. Uh,
Yeah.
no. So tell me about your businesses. You said you have a business or multiple businesses.
Yeah, I own a branding company. We do like printing and graphic and web design, logo design, things like that. Yeah, and that was. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I probably need your services because I need some
Come on,
t-shirts. I need some I need some HPP Treasure t-shirts. I
come on. We'll
do.
get you right. We'll get you right.
Okay.
But that was birthed through my music. Like I said, I think I mentioned that at the beginning. So, like I said, my dad started supporting my music and paying for stuff. And then I got like my dad, it's 8 kids, my dad is working and it's 8 kids. I'm like, I started feeling a little guilty. Like I'm taking food out of my family's plate.
Aw.
Like I could, because the music, like, anyway, not just the music. When you're into this whole trying to pursue something, it's just like a never ending thing where you always gotta pay for something.
You
You always
need
gotta pay
something.
for something.
Yep. You got to pay for something to keep it
I
up.
got a
Keep
new
up.
song.
Yeah.
I need to pay somebody to make me a cover. I got a new event coming up. I need somebody to make me a flyer. And so
Yep.
it was just too much of all this asking pops for XYZ. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find out how people make these flyers. I'm gonna find out how people make these, so that's when I found out to use Photoshop. And then I self-taught myself how to design. And so I went on YouTube and all of this, start watching videos and start asking questions. And then that's how I learned how to design and started designing for other people, my friends who were doing music as well, and started making my own money. And I was like, whoa, I don't even got to ask Pops no more. Like, I'll
Right.
do a couple of flyers and go buy what I need to buy for my music or go pay for my studio session, whatever. And so that's how I became an entrepreneur at an early age. And so that
Right.
helped me
Right.
all throughout my high school years. I never needed to go get a Burger King job or anything like that. I just did my graphic things. As long as I had Wi-Fi and a laptop, I was good.
You was good. I know that's right.
Yeah. And so I end
I
up going
know.
I ended up going to a high school where they had printing equipments at the school. and that was like
Oh,
one of the classes. So I was like, whoa, I want that class. So I went in, I took that class, learned how to print like shirts and stuff. We were printing for the school. And so we were doing everything in house and learned how to do that. And then as soon as I graduated, went and got my own equipment. And then that class went downhill. So that I don't think the school offers that class anymore. And then they turned out to be my client. Now I print for them. So the
oh
school
wow,
orders for my
that's
company
what's up
now.
though.
Right, right. And so yeah, so that's yeah, I have that company. So
No, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and that's ain't that beautiful how that kind of happens organically because that's kind of the same thing with like my little talk show I got here. It started out as one thing and then
it's not
like
little.
I end up well, thank you. I appreciate it because I say that all the time, and I like you guys stop doing that to yourself
Yeah,
because you
it's
know
not little.
we big out here. We big
Come
out
on.
here in these streets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah,
But no, I actually do. I got some people lined up that's gonna shock some people. So yes, I actually am. We actually are doing very well. So
yeah.
thank Jesus. But I didn't have the funds for like somebody to build my website. So I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty computer savvy. So now I got two websites. I built everything. You know what I mean?
Come
And
on.
same thing. Like I need the t-shirts, and so I go on Amazon. I'm looking for the little press and everything. But
Praise
then
him.
you, I also got you also got to be mindful too. You can't do. I mean, I ain't gonna say I can't do everything, but sometimes you might not need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I could
yeah,
go buy me this press and do that and build my website. I need a theme. I need theme music for my show. I could go get Garage Band and be out here trying to make my. But at the same time, you don't got the time for that, and
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like sometimes you got to stick with one thing. So I'm like, all right, slow down, Shay.
yeah.
Let me hire somebody to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah, long
essentially,
long as you're going to that one direction and something that's making you a lot of money. Like I don't waste my time on a lot of stuff that I don't want to learn everything, but I do
right,
know what I'm really good at, and it can make me enough money to pay for other people for the other stuff that I need.
there you go.
That's what I would do. You know, I wouldn't want to try to learn everything. I was just making sure the thing that I can do in my sleep. Like I tell my wife all the time, I compare. I'm like, do I really want to do that, or how much time would it take me to do this to make the money to pay that person to do that? And
Yep.
that's what I do. I just oh, the math is I gotta cut the grass in the yard, and it's gonna take
Right.
me an hour. But if I do a flyer for 15 minutes, I can pay somebody else to do that hour. Look, I'm not cutting the
Exactly.
grass.
There you go.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? It's just like that's how my math be working. So yeah, that's what I would do.
No, yeah, you're right. Because like I did try to make my own little theme song, and it took me forever to try to get like two notes that sounded halfway decent. And so then I go on Facebook and I'm like, I literally put a post out like to the beat makers. I need the theme song. Two people hit me up like for $50 here. I can make a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh,
Come on,
cool to the
I'm over
highest
to
bidder, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. So I gotta. I mean, like I said, I think I feel like I can do everything, but you maybe don't need to do everything.
That's what's up.
So awesome. Okay, I know we're just about at time, but I just wanna follow up with a few more questions. As you evolved, right, like everybody's we're all evolving, right, as you're growing we're evolving, as we're trading and and changing into different careers and different things in different seasons of our life. We're all evolving. What has been the most difficult thing in your evolution? What's been the most difficult thing that's maybe been a challenge to you, and how were you able to overcome that?
Um, balancing, balancing. You know, I
Yeah.
want to be the best husband I can be. I want to be the best father I can be. And I want to be the best business person I can be, the best family person I can be. So just trying to find that perfect balance amongst all of those, priorities and stuff like that. I feel like that's probably like the most uh, difficult thing right now. And even like with me now traveling and stuff like that, back doing gigs and stuff like that, um, it's not the same as when I was single and free and didn't have responsibilities
Yeah.
and so now being a husband, being a father and family and owning the business, balancing how much time I dedicate to music, how much I can go on tour, and how much I still need to be involved at the office and all of these things. So I would say balancing is probably like the biggest fight I got to fight I'm facing right now.
No, and I think that's everybody. I swear, don't time be going by so fast. Don't them 24 hours go by fast every day?
especially these days, it's like it just feels like you blink, 2 days then went by.
Yep. Time is fleeting. It is. That's almost scary. I'd be like, oh, it was just 2 o'clock and now it's like 9. Yeah, it be going by fast. But that like I said, I think that that's definitely something that everybody is challenged with. We're also in, I talk about this with a lot of people. We're also in like the era of everybody wanting to have 2 jobs, a side hustle. More. We're in the era of more, right? You know what I mean? Everybody wants more, more money, and so that creates more businesses, and you have to have more. And then, but we all still have the same 24 hours
Yeah,
to deal
yeah,
with. And so at the end of the day, somebody or something is going to get the short end of the stick. And you know what it ends up being, if it's not our children, and I'm gonna say that for me because I'm a single mom of 5,
come
and
on.
so there's no way for
You
me
almost there with my
to.
mom. You just need 3 more.
I know. When you said 8, I was like, ooh, she a cold thing,
Yeah,
kind of like me. No.
you almost there with my mom. You just need three
Yeah,
more.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, like my kids unfortunately got the short end because I had to work 2 jobs. I mean, there was time there for years I worked 100 hours a week, and that's not exaggerating. I'm not lying. I counted them, and so they didn't get to see me, and so now they're older. They're teens. 2 of them are out the house. I got 3 teens in the house now. Now they don't care whether I come and go. They just want the Wi-Fi to work. If the
yeah.
Wi-Fi works, I could be gone for 2 weeks. They would not care.
Oh wow.
Uh, so, but what takes the hit for me now is my self-care. I don't have time for me, you know what I mean? And then lately it's been I don't have time for the Bible, or because I make it a point to read the Bible every single day. But
Yeah,
then like I'll get up and I'm in school and I got this and I have my full-time day job and the kids. So sometimes I wake up, I gotta go to work, and I just by the time I get off, I don't have time to read the Bible. But I'm like, no, I gotta make time to read the Bible. Like if I make time to eat, if I
yeah,
make time to go watch whatever TV show, then I gotta make time. So I'm working on that. But that self care is super, super important because if you don't take care of yourself, then it does spiral out to your business, or you know what I'm saying, and your kids and your family, because you're not at your 100%. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That is true. That is true. That was one of my biggest things that when I started having my family, that I was trying to make sure that but that's why I waited a little bit. But life happens now.
Yep.
It's yeah. So it's a balance. Sometimes
Yep.
So I feel you. I totally feel you on that. Yeah,
And we can't be faulted. Like I said, everything's so busy. So sometimes you can make it work, and sometimes we may fall short. But I think it's also about self awareness. If you
yeah.
recognize it, and you know,
Just do what you gotta do.
exactly, exactly. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so one final question.
Yeah.
What would be one piece of advice that you would give viewers, your audience, fans, anybody? What would be one piece of advice you would give?
Um, Never leave God out your life. You
Come
know,
on now, you better tell them. Say it with
never
your
leave
chest.
God out your life. Because God without you, still God.
Yeah.
You
Oh, that
without God,
makes sense. Yes. You're
not you.
nothing.
You're
Yeah, I
nothing.
know.
And so that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Always keep God first. Never leave God out of everything. You know, He's the one that's going to help you get through whatever that is. Um, so always include God in everything, and everything gonna be just fine. Long as if you have God, everything gonna be fine. That's what I would say. It doesn't matter how hard it is, how tough it is. Sometimes stuff we go through is God trying to toughen us as His soldiers,
Yeah.
or God trying to teach us something or show us something, or there's a testimony at the end of the test. So, but in order for you to pass that test, I definitely know you're gonna need God to be involved in it. So, as you will live not your life, include God in it, make it the God life.
Amen. Amen. 100%. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. This was fun.
Yeah, 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 most definitely. I'm glad it's my first time coming because it's not my last time. So I'm glad it's my first time coming. Most definitely we'll be in touch. I love what you all about. Um, I like your website. I went to it. I clicked the link and I went to it. I
Oh,
was
did
like,
you? Okay, good.
come on.
Right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now,
No, yes, I appreciate it. I just started it, and I'm doing rather well, and got some exciting people I got to interview in a few months. So please
yeah.
definitely come back. The growing will definitely be bigger very very soon. I'm so excited. I can't even talk about it yet, but so
Oh
excited.
yeah.
So, but yes, definitely please come back because we can have a little Bible study session low key for real.
Look, we almost did for a little
I
bit.
know,
We
I
almost did for
know, I know. Ain't nothing wrong with it though.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
Well, I appreciate you, and also, yes, I know you're in Houston. I was looking at some of the videos, and it's really sad because I'm actually in the state of Washington on an island. I live on Camano Island in Washington, and so it's very
Okay.
far from you. And so I
Is
hate to
that
say it, but I
is
had
that
no,
the
I didn't
island
know.
by like Canada or something?
Yep, yep, we're not far from Canada. I think, yeah, I think I haven't been to Canada yet, but I think literally like 40 minutes from the border or something like that. So
Yeah.
yes, very,
I've been
very.
to Washington. I've been to, is it Vancouver? Do they have a Vancouver
Oh
in
yeah,
Washington?
Vancouver's in Canada, I think. Yeah, because I seen a sign that said Vancouver this way. So I
It
think it's
is.
in Canada
But
or
I've been
going
to
towards
Washington. I
Canada.
forgot the exact city. I was on a West Coast tour. We did a tour on that side. So we came up like Wyoming and Salt Lake City and Utah and all that stuff, and came up to Washington.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then we came down to like Oregon and all of that stuff. So we toured that whole area and did
in the Pacific Northwest.
yeah, Idaho and all that stuff. So I came up that way. We just didn't cross over into Canada.
Okay, okay. So yeah, you know where I'm at. But yeah, I'm super far from here, and I try to stay up with the news and stuff, but yes, it's kind of a lot, so I kind of stay off of it. But I didn't realize how bad the storms were in Houston until I put up a
Really?
video and seeing people in boats. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I had no idea it was that bad. So prayers to you, your family, and
We
really
just
everybody.
got lights and Wi-Fi back like yesterday, literally. Like I was telling my team, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this interview tomorrow, but
Yeah,
God made it happen. But we've been without lights for 6 days.
yeah, that's
Yeah, and there's
terrible.
still some people who still don't have lights.
Oh, really?
Today's day 7, so they still don't have lights day 7. Yeah,
And it's
it
still
was
hot down, and it's hot down there still too, and y'all don't have no air,
it was
or
it was hot that afternoon.
yeah.
It rained that morning, did all the damages, and in the afternoon the sun was back
Oh,
out.
it was as hot. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I had no idea. So prayers to you, family. I'm happy you're good. I know, and I was shocked. I said, "Oh yeah, he's a soldier. He's still gonna do the interview with me, and he
Yeah, yeah,
just got
yeah.
his light turned
But
on."
see, I know we gotta go, but but this wasn't something new to me. Like I grew up in Louisiana. We get this often, you
Oh,
know.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we haven't gotten it this past couple of years, but I've been to it through at least 3 or 4 hurricanes prior to moving to
Oh,
Houston. So I just don't like the fact that I have a little baby. My daughter is almost 3 now, and I have to be
oh,
in this hot house versus to this is nothing new. If you're from Louisiana, it's like
right, right.
another day.
How do you deal with that? Like I know, and we both keep saying we gotta go. I'm straight actually. I know you said you got an
I'm
hour,
good.
but
I'm
how
good.
do
I'm
you?
good.
Okay, okay, yeah. Well, I'm good too. Then we ain't gotta leave yet. But no, talk to me about that because I have family that live in Florida, and they deal with the hurricanes and stuff, and then happen to like what is it, evacuate and then come back.
Mhm.
How do you deal with that? Like, if you don't have the means to leave and go nowhere else, you're just kind of stuck. Like, how do you keep dealing
Um,
with that?
there are certain ones like I feel like this one was a little bit underestimated, and
Okay,
so nobody really had to evacuate. Nobody thought it was going to be as bad as it was. Um,
okay,
but you get the heads up to leave, and you know where you leave if you're in a flooding
right.
zone. They've already marked the areas. Even when you're buying a house, they'll let you know if this is a flooding zone, this is not a flooding zone.
Okay,
So you know where you leave if you need to get up out of there. And so
right.
where we at, we know for sure we don't flood, but we also get affected by it when the lights are out, they're out, the network and stuff like that. But there are
Yeah.
people who were badly affected. I think about 7 to 8 people died or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And stuff like that. But the only the worst thing that's happened to everybody else is it was like a little bit over 2 million people without lights for almost a
Yeah,
week.
I think I read that. That's crazy. Well, and then the video that I that I saw. I pulled up and it was a guy, and I don't know if he. I honestly don't think he lived there. I think he said he was like a storm chaser, so I think he might have came there, and was videotaping. But like he's picking up people like he's like a little like a taxi and a boat, and you know what I'm saying. And then this one guy gets in the boat and he's like, "Where am I going?" He said he was going to the smoke shop. I said, "Why is he going?" Like, yeah.
We,
I said,
we
"Look at his
we live in
priorities."
a day and age where people
Bugging,
don't
but
take nothing serious. Okay, it's so much stuff I saw people when they got their jet skis out, and I'm like, people are dying. What is
I
you doing?
I know.
But
What was the game?
yeah. People,
Yeah, it's
and
very
then they'll
interesting.
film it. It's gonna go viral, and
Yep, yep,
it's
yep.
crazy.
Yeah, there was
It's crazy.
another guy in the same video that like had water up past his hips, and he's like waving, smiling, got his phone up. I'm like, this is real life, right? Like this is real life. like, like I don't know what's happening, but okay. At least they're in good
Yeah,
spirits, honey. Like
yeah,
at least they're
yeah. I
happy. I don't
mean,
know.
that what we have to do to stay up. Because it could be, it could be worse.
Right? Yeah.
But nah, we're good. I think all the waters went down. Majority of people have received their lives back, and
Yeah.
so a few more that's left are praying for them, making sure that they receive the lights because it's
Right.
been 4 days with no hot water and AC, and
No
a lot of people.
refrigerator, so all
My
your
mom,
food then went
hmm
bad in the refrigerator.
we emptied out everything, all our fridges. We gotta go make groceries again now. We emptied out
Right.
everything. Everything is gone. We throw everything away. But my mom lived on the street, and my mom had lights. Hers came back the same day.
Oh,
And
good.
my sister, she didn't lose hers, so we had been spending majority of our time over by them. So
Right,
that helped
right.
out soften the situation, especially with having a little child. But yeah,
Yeah. And that's just a blessing that you got that support. Cause like I'm thinking about the people who don't got family. Cause like me, if something happened, like my parents are passed on, I don't got really nobody, it's just me and my kids. So like I don't got nobody to be like, sis, can I come? Cause the hurricane, like
yeah,
we're here, or if you ain't got the money to get out and just go
you know,
somewhere else, or
yeah.
I had heard that the hotels were all filled up, where they were all full, so you couldn't go get a
They
hotel.
either were full or price gouging, whatever. If I'm saying that right,
Oh
okay.
yeah,
Oh
yes, yep.
my God, those prices they went up like they want $5,000 for a night.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why they play those
Yeah,
games, but yeah,
taking advantage is what it is. But
but
well, this was so
it's a real
fun.
thing.
I appreciate you. You got to come back.
Most definitely, most definitely. And we're gonna make sure we come back and have Bible study.
Yes, for
We'll make
sure,
sure we
for
have Bible
sure.
study. But most
And
definitely,
we gonna have our Bibles too, because neither one of us knew the verses, so I'm a little ashamed. I
listen.
gotta go.
I'm
I gotta
like,
go
you
pray to
gotta go look
God.
it up. You gotta go.
I
I know
know.
what it says, but I can't pinpoint it. I can't quote it right. But I know what
Right,
I'm talking about, and I know it's
right,
in there because I just read it like last week.
right.
But nah, but yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. We're definitely
Okay,
gonna.
awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again, y'all. This has been another one. This is Young Honore. We going up. You already know what it is. I got some more interviews coming up next week. A real big one next month. I'm super excited about. So I'll definitely have some little reels coming out on social media about that. But thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for being here, and thank you again, once Young Honore, for sharing your story and being transparent with everything. And once again, prayers to Houston and everything that's going on out there, and prayers to you and your family as well.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, y'all. This is Shay. I'm out. Bye bye.